This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Tracy James, and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast of movies that are, well, off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about movies in my collection. In this episode, Erika Donovan is here to take a weird trip back to the 90s with Breakfast of Champions and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Welcome!
Hi!
Thank you for coming here and allowing me to provide you with several beverages.
All the beverages. Thank you for that.
I mean, it is a very warm day in the city, so I think they're all necessary, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need more, probably.
Sure, we can do that. That's not a problem. I have a refrigerator, and...
I just keep looking at the box of ananas.
Ananas?
Ananas.
It's just ananas juice.
Ananas juice.
Living in Canada, it's fun reading things in French and making fun of it.
Oh, it's my favorite thing ever. Is French words. Pamplemousse.
I actually love the term pamplemousse.
I love it.
It's just so effervescent.
We should stop calling it grapefruits then. We should just call everything pamplemousse.
Yeah, I like this idea.
Cool.
I mean, we buy things here and with grapefruit and it's pamplemousse all over it. So pamplemousse this, pamplemousse that. Ooh, pamplemousse. I feel very fancy. Ooh la la. Well,
yeah.
I don't know. This is where we're starting today. This is just how it's gonna be.
Wow.
Yes.
It's just down.
Downhill or uphill, or us being on two sides of a mountain meeting at the apex.
Ooh, I like that.
You like that?
I like that. I like that.
Boom. This is
Let's
how we're
meet
gonna
at the
do
top.
it. Meeting at the top. And
Cool.
we're gonna high five?
Yeah.
Oh, I smacked my microphone. Sorry.
You said not to touch the microphone after you hit recording.
I said not to touch the microphone in the middle of you saying things, because then I can't take the sound out.
Okay.
Yes. But, you know, in general, don't hit the microphone.
Okay.
That's probably a good thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. Well, I guess on that weird note, it's the proper place to start at Breakfast of Champions, because god damn, that should be weird.
Can I start off with saying how hard it was to find this movie?
Yeah, you can. I'm actually not surprised. And I was like, I will give you the DVD to watch.
I know, but I wasn't home Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want you to like leave it outside my apartment door.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have done that.
No. Would you have met me at Beer Fest? Like, there's no way I would have gotten it.
True. Yeah, no.
I didn't leave my apartment Saturday. So, well, I did eventually, but you weren't around.
No, I wasn't. My mom came back from a trip and we had to spend time together.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yes, we went to Red Lobster.
I'm jealous. I went to the Firkin.
Actually, I haven't been to Red Lobster in forever. So I was kind of like, I was literally craving. I'm like, I need seafood.
Oh, see, I crave the keg.
Oh, really?
And I texted my mom the other day. She was like, she asked me to do something with her, and I was like, you know what's cheaper? The keg.
What is cheaper than, what is more expensive than the keg besides like Michelin star restaurants?
She said something cost $35 each, and she sent me the there's that Harry Potter train in Durham region.
Yes.
And she asked if she has no idea about Harry Potter at all, but like as you can tell by my Hufflepuff blender bottle with full protein, I'm Harry Potter person. I mean, I also have it tattooed. So she asked me if I wanted to do that with her. It was $35, and I was like, that sounds cool, but let's do the keg.
You could also do medieval times for that kind of money. Actually, no, it's more expensive, isn't it? No, but if you get a Groupon for it, it's about that price.
Yeah,
it's
great. About the same, yeah.
Yes.
But I don't want to do that. I just
what? You can get a carnation from a knight.
Maybe if I was pretty enough.
Look, okay. I've gotten a carnation. You can totally get a carnation.
Oh,
yeah.
you're prettier.
You gotta scream and, have your bosoms tight in like a corset and shake them for them.
I don't have bosoms.
That's what corsets are for. Hello. You get everything all packed up and tight and pushed up like that, and just they jiggle. I'm sorry, I'm doing a very weird
This has like nothing to do with Breakfast of Champions. Anyways, it's not on Prime. It's not on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not on any free movie streaming site I checked.
Yeah.
Amazon, the DVD is $307.
Sorry, $307?
$307. There might have been one for like $44, but I only focused on the one that was $307.
Oh my God! Why was it so? Was it signed by like Bruce Willis or something?
No. Someone just knows that you can't find this movie, so they're selling their copy for $307.
Shit, I'm
Amazon.
selling my copy for that kind of money.
Do it.
I
mean, are you gonna watch it again?
Fuck no.
Yeah. I eventually did find it on YouTube. Of all places,
Sweet.
YouTube had it.
Nice.
So I watched it yesterday. Well, like slightly hungover, slightly not, eating McDonald's.
So my question to you is, I mean, from the expression on your face and what you've said so far, what did you think about it?
So my second point is no idea what's going on. I have no idea what. Like, I know what happened in the movie.
Okay.
I don't know how the old man relates to is it Bruce Willis? It's Bruce Willis, right?
Yes.
For some reason, my brain wanted to say Kevin Costner. Like, that's not Kevin Costner.
No.
I don't know how they relate to each other or what any of it was. Like, what was the guy from prison? Like, what was his storyline?
Yeah, see, the problem is, okay, so for people who don't know, Breakfast of Champions is actually based on a Kurt Vonnegut novel, which is also called Breakfast of Champions. And if you are any kind of reader or person who's into American literature or whatever.
I am a reader. So, where are you going with this?
I know you haven't, but you've read Kurt Vonnegut before.
Maybe one. Yeah.
So that's fine. Okay. I'm not saying you have to read this Kurt Vonnegut.
Okay, but I think I do need to read this.
But you know of Kurt Vonnegut, right? And the thing with Kurt Vonnegut's writing is that he writes like an old man sitting down his grandkids, and he's just a good storyteller. But there's lots of tangents and going over here and extra tidbits of information and all this kind of stuff. The stories he tells are not technically linear, and they just go literally all over the place.
So what was the story?
So the story of Breakfast of Champions is, as with the movie, there's this guy, Dwayne, I should know what his name is. Dwayne Hoover, who is a rich guy who owns a car dealership, and he's going crazy. That's it, right? The other parts of the story...
He's not going crazy. He is crazy from the start of the movie. Like, doesn't it start off with him with a gun in his mouth?
It does.
Yeah,
right?
So I think he's crazy from the start.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's lost it, whatever, from the start. And that's really it. Like, it's really just about him. But the other side of the story is this guy, Kilgore Trout, who's an author, an unknown author, whose works have been found by someone who invites him to an arts festival, right? And these two people's paths cross, and like it's all the people they interact with.
Okay.
That's pretty much what the story is. Now, the problem with the movie, I find, compared to the book, is that the movie is excessively manic. Like, it is just all over the place.
Yeah. Like, I think that's why I had no idea what was actually going on with it, because each scene didn't seem to tell me anything, and then it would just jump to something else, and I was just like, okay, but what happened there,
or and why did you show me this,
why are we here now, and like what is going on? And then I think some of the times it was like, are some of these scenes like in his head? Is he imagining some of these happening, or are they actually happening? Like there was the one scene where like the guy took his suit off and he was wearing a dress. Was that actually happening? Was any of this happening?
Tell you the truth, I don't. Based on how the film is made, I have no idea. I just really don't. Okay. Because the movie is horribly, like, surprisingly, there's a lot of actually good actors in this movie.
Oh, there's so many. I think that's one of my notes was that Owen Wilson was in it.
Yeah, Owen Wilson
just shows up in like
Patton Oswalt, I think, was in it.
Yeah.
And the guy who played Spawn, he's not a great actor, but he's fun.
But there was also one of the females, not the mistress, not the wife, the waitress that brings him his martini and says Breakfast of Champions with the martini.
Her, yes.
Yeah, she's in a ton of things.
She's in a ton of stuff, and I actually looked her up, and then I did not write down her name.
I'll look it up quickly.
There's just so many people in this movie, and you're just like, how did you get together and make this? Like,
how did you read the script and be like, I want that role?
Yeah.
Because
But maybe it was like, it's based on a Kurt Vonnegut novel, and they're like, I want in on that.
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe, because there's Albert Finney is an Oscar winner.
Omar Epps is in this.
Yeah. He's the black guy from jail.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, Michael Clark Duncan. Because the scene where he's actually in jail and the guy behind him telling him he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan, what? But that was super early in his actual movie career. I don't think he'd done much before that. That's why it was like a 3-second role.
Scout Willis was in it too.
Mm-hmm.
She played a young girl.
At the end,
I mean, it makes sense. Her dad's
where Albert Finney walks through the window, the mirror or the leak.
Yes.
It's right at the very end of the movie.
Okay.
Right? And he's at the dealership or whatever, telling him not to destroy things.
Oh, yeah.
And he passes by the mirror and he goes through the mirror. And there's a little girl in the mirror waiting for him and he grabs a hand. Yeah, this is weird. That's her.
That's her. Okay. Yes. Great. The waitress, I don't know what her name was, so.
But the pictures should be there.
No.
It's not there?
There's some, but none of them look like her.
Wait, are you on the app or on the website?
I'm on the website.
Gotta be on the app. It looks better.
I don't want to download the app.
Hold on. I have it. I can do it. No.
Lucas Haas is Bunny, his
yes.
son. I didn't even realize that because he doesn't look like him.
Yeah. This is one of the first movies he did when he was older. You know what I mean? He didn't look like a little kid anymore.
Oh, it was Nick Nolte. That's what I was at work and I was like, but Nick Nolte is in it. My coworkers were all like, we don't know who that is. And I'm like,
they don't know who Nick Nolte is?
I explained Iron Man and they were like, oh, okay. It is Iron Man, right? He's in Iron Man?
No.
Isn't he the guy isn't he the bad guy in the second one? Who is
the
that?
Bad guy in the second movie?
Yeah.
No.
With all the...
No, that's... That is not Nick Nolte.
Sorry, Nick Nolte.
I'm not, for the life of me, I'm not going to remember that guy's name right now.
Cool.
Oh my god. He was in The Fighter.
He's a known actor. He's one of those actors where you say both their names.
Yes.
Mickey... What? Rourke?
Mickey Rourke, yes. That's him.
Do you have those movies?
No, I don't. Okay. Yeah. Nick Nolte was in movies like 48... What's it? Him in 48 Hours? Oh, God, I'm going to say the wrong thing again, aren't I?
Which one's 48 Hours?
It's the one with...
Was that the vampire one?
No, that's the one with Eddie Murphy in the 80s. Oh, my God. He has so many acting credits. It is him in 48 Hours, right? Oh, God, I'm going to say the wrong thing. No, I was right. Okay. 40 Hours. He's also in another 48 Hours. He was in Down and Out in Beverly Hills. These are really old movies, actually. I should get something more modern. You might know what he is. Who he is. Well, yeah,
I know who he is. I was just wrong as to what he was in. And now my coworkers think that he's an Iron Man.
I don't think there's anything really wrong with that, but at the same time, he wasn't.
I gave them false information. All right. Oh, back to my notes. Okay, yeah. So I noted that Owen Wilson was in it because that threw me off. Mm-hmm. And then literally I said so many characters that I know. But seriously, what is happening?
Yeah. No,
that's my notes.
The movie makes no sense. And I know it's supposed to be because he's crazy and you're seeing it sort of from his point of view. But also, things should actually connect to each other.
But what? Yeah. Also, why did they walk through the mud?
I don't know.
Did they go in the mud or just through it? Because I closed my eyes at one point. I didn't sleep. I think maybe I went to the kitchen to get water because I was like, this is not. Yeah. I'm not gonna miss anything if I go to the kitchen.
Nope.
And then I missed something.
Nope. Yeah, they walked through it instead of going around it.
Okay, so that's what I thought happened,
yeah.
And I didn't understand why they didn't just go around it because it didn't look that big.
Yeah, well, and yeah, because, cop cars from the town showed up on the other side, so they must have driven somewhere. And,
yeah.
It wasn't
a lake. It looked like a puddle.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
You're asking me questions that I don't have answers for.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm very frustrated by
not having answers.
By it, not having answers and stuff, because I watched the movie, and I'm like, I read the book, and I watched the movie, and I would think the movie would make sense, even though it's supposed to be confusing, but it still didn't. Is
the movie loosely based off of the book?
So
what you've read so far.
So full disclosure, I read the book before. I was trying to reread the book.
You read it? Okay.
Started rereading it yesterday, and I'm already at like chapter 8 or whatever. Because it's that easy to read. Like, it's such an easy read.
Okay, I'm gonna get this with my Kobo next week.
And I actually remember when I bought this book. So here comes an anecdote. It's really exciting. So when I graduated from college, this was like 2003. My mom took me on a trip to England.
I was still in high school.
I hate you. Shut up. And at the time, I was working at a bookstore, right? Mm-hmm. And I was asking my friends, I'm like, oh, I want something like light and easy that's not stupid, but just easy to read and interesting while I go on my trip. My friend recommended Vonnegut, and I had never picked up Vonnegut because I do judge books by their cover. I'm sorry, I really do. It just looked very serious.
No, I do all the time.
Yeah, it looked very serious. And I'm like, I don't want serious. They're like, no, read it, you'll love it. So this is the first Vonnegut book I read. And literally, I get on the plane, I read like one chapter, and I was like, what? Then I was like, whatever. But then I got to England, and this was weird. This was a year they had a heat wave in England. It was very peculiar. And because of jet lag and stuff, I was just like out of it. And so I literally spent one day in bed.
Yeah.
I read the whole book. Loved it. Came back home. I had to track down the movie. I found out there was a movie.
Because it's $300 on Amazon.
This was like 17 years ago.
Oh, this
which
is
makes me feel old.
This is why I miss Blockbuster, though. Because you know how easy it would have been for me to find both of these movies if we had a Blockbuster?
Oh, it's so easy because they just had everything.
They have everything.
For no reason, just had everything.
They have one copy of everything, and that's cool. You only need one copy of everything.
Yeah. And especially with a movie like Breakfast of Champions, it's very unlikely that somebody else would have had it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So I got back home, did a bunch of research. Sunrise Records in Bramley City Center. I remember this. They had to order it for me. It was $17.99.
I remember those days when you used to go to like Sunrise and you were like, I want this movie, and they had to order it, or like the CD, they had to order everything for you.
And it was beautiful. Yeah. Loved it.
It was $17.
$17.99. Even at that time, that was a pretty hefty price for it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no, it's going to be amazing. Like, it's got Bruce Willis, person that I love, based on a book that is amazing. It's going to be great. And then I watched it and I was like, what the shit is this garbage? So very disappointing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, she took off her shoe.
There's something in my shoe.
Is that like a tack?
No,
was that always part of your shoe and you just ripped it off?
No, it's like a glitter thing. I think it's from your apartment.
I don't
you do
glitter?
Jewellery?
Yeah, but there's nothing with glitter. What is it? That is not from my apartment.
Sorry, I was like running my foot on your hardwood, and I felt like there was a nail or something in it. And I thought it was a nail, and so I was just dealing with it.
It's okay.
But I didn't think you were gonna tell anybody. I thought I could just like quietly deal with it by myself. We were talking about.
No, it's very distracting
Sunrise
when you see somebody bend over and take off their shoe and look really confused. It's a thing.
That's how I felt while watching this movie.
Right?
Really confused.
And then I had never watched the movie since. So rewatched.
So what were your thoughts when you watched it the first time?
I hated it.
Okay.
Because it was crap.
Right.
Like it made no sense.
Yeah.
And then I watched it again and I'm like, oh yeah, this is crap. It makes no sense. Done.
Then you were like, wow, I'm really glad Erika signed up for this one.
Yeah.
She's gonna love it.
Awesome.
It's great.
I love the quotes on it. The quotes on the back are awesome as well.
That was by the Toronto Sun.
Oh God.
The quotes on the back.
Was it there that had quotes on it?
It just says.
Oh, it's great unruly fun.
Yeah.
That's great unruly fun. That is a lie.
LA Weekly. I don't remember the scene with the dog.
The scene with the dog.
There's a dog.
Yeah, it's literally the beginning when he leaves the house for the first time. The dog grabs his coat and he's trying to like pull away from it. That's it.
I mean, like I feel like I should probably watch it again, but.
Yeah, but here are some inaccuracies in the first couple of chapters of this book that I already saw, which are actually like very important aspects of the movie. So this movie takes place, quote unquote, in modern time, which was when the movie came out.
1999?
Yes. I think. Yes. I want to say. 99. Yes. So they moved it up to, quote unquote, modern time. Fine. Second, it's a Pontiac dealer. Sorry, he's a Cadillac dealer.
When was the book?
In the 70s.
Oh, in the 70s. Okay.
Yeah. And then in the movie, Dwayne has a wife who is pretty much just out of it and comatose or whatever, just around the house. In the book, he's a widower. She's dead. She killed herself drinking Drano. Yeah. And the dog in the movie hated him, and the dog in the book loves him, and they have hours-long conversations at night.
His wife in the movie has a part. Like, she tries to give her rain boots to the author. What's his name? Yeah.
Kilgore Trout.
Yeah. And then doesn't she go back to him in the end?
Well, she just sits there waiting, and then he comes through, and then he's gonna walk through the thing. Yeah. And then she throws the boots at him, and he puts them on. Then he walks through to meet her.
So, like, what happens if she wasn't actually in the movie? If she had died in the book, like, who would have given him the boots?
I haven't made it to the end of the book again. I don't remember.
Oh my god!
I do plan on finishing the book, even though this podcast is over, because
I'm gonna read the book.
Yes,
I'm gonna get the book.
I think you'll really enjoy
and read it.
Okay, I think you'll enjoy it.
Either that, or I'm gonna text you and be like, "What the hell is happening?"
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's gonna be part of it.
Great.
It gets weird.
Okay, great.
Also, he has a black servant in the book, and a white lady is in the movie. Role appropriation.
Can't they just, like, hire actors and actresses to fill the roles that are how they're written in the book versus switching them?
Apparently not.
God, people suck.
But there is a whole thing about slavery in the book as well. Oh, okay. So maybe that's why.
Maybe they're just like, we're going to take all of that out.
Yeah, they're like, we're not actually going to make a point about, like, civil servants or, you know, indentured servants or just slaves in general, and we're just going to make it stupid.
We're going to just, make her white, and then it's fine.
Yeah, they don't have to bring it up anymore.
We don't have to talk about it?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. And also, one thing I like about the book is that they talk about more of the books that Kilgore Trout had written in the past and, like, what they were actually about, and they're fantastic. They're just so weird. And I'm not going to read it because it's like 3 pages long, the explanation. It's just too much.
Yeah, because they only talked about one book he wrote in the movie, and then an article he wrote for a magazine.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the book they keep talking about is the one with the everybody in the world is robots except for one person who has free will or whatever. Yeah. And then Dwayne Hoover takes it to heart or whatever, and that he's the only person with
that's free will. He thinks everybody else is robots,
and everybody else is a robot. That's why at the end of the movie he's just like, "You're a fucking robot, and you're a stealing robot, and you're a
see." I just thought he was insane.
Yeah, no,
I didn't realize that. The two things. I didn't realize that the two things were related because the entire movie didn't make sense to me. So I just thought they were two separate plot lines in a movie. Oh. I thought, like, one whole plot line was, like, the author trying to get to the thing he was invited to, where they loved and worshipped him and everybody hated him along the way. Mm-hmm. And then the other one was Dwight's insanity exploding.
Yeah, and then the whole point is the reason why these two storylines are being told is because they meet and then he explodes or whatever, and it gets weirder.
Right.
I don't know. But all of that's literally the only thing I understood about the movie is that one part. Everything else was just, what are you doing? What's the point? Like, because there's no actual, like, character development. There's no real, like, plot.
Well, like, the guy from prison, I mean, was even necessary to the movie because he starts like working at the dealership, I guess, but he doesn't do anything.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't do anything. No secondary character in that movie does anything.
No. Because even, what's the point of his son?
I don't know. Yeah, because, like, Bunny's there. You're like, oh, he's playing his accordion, or what is he playing? One of those.
Piano.
It wasn't a piano. It was the other ones.
Keyboard?
Harpsichord. It's a piano-ish thing. You know what I'm talking about. It's got like 2 rows.
Oh, an organ?
Yeah, organ. There you go. Wow,
yeah,
I can't think of things. Yes.
Yeah, he was like an organ, and then he saw his dad with his mistress.
And then he pointed it out.
Yeah.
But then, like, out of nowhere, this guy became super obsessed with him and was like trying
and
to
wanting to
him
give him, and then made him put on a sparkly jacket.
Yeah.
And then he went and played more music.
Yeah.
At the thing.
And then for some reason at the end he loved his father for no reason, even though he punched him in the face.
Well, because everything exploded and like the world was gonna end. So like he loved his family, got back together in the end.
I don't even think you believe that what you're saying right now.
But that's what they showed. They all like hugged and loved each other again at the end because like the world was falling apart.
But the world wasn't actually falling apart. They were just crazy. All of them seemed to be unhinged in some way.
Yeah, but then their unhingedness brought them back together.
I don't know. They didn't even try to make proper connections about anything.
No, I thought the entire time being like, what is happening? Why are we doing this?
Technically, I knew what was happening, but even I was just like, I don't understand what's happening.
No, like I put it on and it ended. It just ended, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're done. Great. On to the next movie. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to read the book. Hopefully that helps, but.
Yes. I would like to know, like, if you read it, I want to know what you think about the book compared to the movie. Because to tell you the truth, from what I remember, a lot of the main things are in it, but they don't make sense in the movie, how they're put together.
No, so hope they make more sense how they're put together in the book.
Yeah. Like, okay. So for example, so this isn't the first Kurt Vonnegut, like, book that was made into a movie. The first one was Slaughterhouse Five, which was done in the 70s, I believe. And it was also, and Slaughterhouse Five is a very famous book that is world-renowned, well-known, had lots of, like awards and all that kind of stuff. It's taught in history classes and literature classes and all that kind of stuff. And people love it. And it is an amazing, heartfelt, like, it doesn't make war look glorious. It makes it look sad and what it does to people after war and all that kind of stuff, right? But there's also like, I want to say it is a time travel element, but not really. Okay. Because he's old. And he's kind of losing it, and he's losing his place in time is what's happening. And it's such a well-written book, and the story and the lines they go together, and it's so good. And then they made this movie in the 70s. Oh my god. So garbage.
So they just can't make any of his books into movies.
I don't think so.
Nobody knows how to take the book and make it a movie.
Yeah, the way he writes them and the way they're put together, like, I think it's just difficult. I mean, think of a book.
But how? Just take the scenes from here and film them and put them in that order.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Read this book and tell me how you're going to make that movie.
Okay. I have to finish reading Playing Dead.
What's that?
It's about how you can, like, fake your own death. And, like, this girl, like, goes through the process of doing it. It's very good, so I have to finish that first, and then I'll read this. So it might be a couple weeks. But I'm not going to also fake my death, FYI, to Tracy's listeners. I'm just very interested in...
I might.
I know, I want to run away.
Next time it'll be Off My Shelf with Shaquan Winate. I made that name up on the spot, and I don't know why.
That isn't your new bar name when somebody asks your name and you don't want to tell them?
Yeah.
That's your new name.
I'm going to forget what it is in like 3 minutes. It's fine.
I've already forgotten. Anate? Is that your last name?
Apparently. Shaquan Anate?
Yeah, Shaquan Anate?
Yeah, let's go with that. It's fine. We're going to make it happen.
Yes.
But I do recommend you read some Kurt Vonnegut books, and you will definitely see why it would be difficult.
I'm gonna write that down
to make his books into movies.
I'm gonna add that to my things right here.
I've read a lot of his books now that I think about it.
Book version. There's a dog barking in your hallway.
Yeah, there's lots of dogs on my floor, and they're all lovely. Even though there's kind of like a tiff going on between the lady who's at the end and the guy who's over there, because his stupid, as she put it, his stupid little yapper bit her dog. And then the building didn't do anything about it.
Wow, on my floor, the old lady down the hall is, I think, dating the old man down the hall.
Ooh.
Like, they're not down the hall. Like, she's closer to the elevators, and he's, like, at the end of the hall.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen him come out of his apartment and knock on hers and go into her apartment.
Yeah.
And I've seen her come out of his apartment in the morning.
Oh, scandal.
So that's the drama on my floor.
I love it. It's amazing. Also, you know, there's a character in the movie called Mr. Rosewater. He's the rich guy who writes him the letter and who's bald and weird when he shows up. Kilgore Trout. No?
Nope.
Anyways, there's a book written about him, too. That's pretty good.
There's a book written about him?
Yeah, he's a character. Yeah. So, Mr.
Oh, so this is like the Christopher Moore's books where, like, the characters overlap.
Sometimes, but not, like, a lot. Like, it's not, like, a ton of them, but there's a couple of them.
Okay.
But I've read, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've read at least 8 of his books. Yeah, that's quite a few.
Yeah, and this was your first one?
That was my first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally recommend. Also, Hocus Pocus is the other one I recommend.
Is that like the movie?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
Sorry for asking a normal question.
How do I explain this in not an offensive way?
Oh, wow.
It's like, it's one of those books that if you explain it to people, people think you're a crazy person and you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
Uh-huh.
But then you read it, you're just like, oh my God, this is wonderful.
Okay.
So it's about the future, and this guy becomes president, and he was adopted, but also very lonely as a child. So he enacts this thing where everybody gets an animal and a number added to their name so people can find quote unquote families. So if you're like Squirrel 45, you could be with a 45 group or a squirrel group. You can find a family, whatever. But also in this future, Asians, Far East Asians, I think it's the Japanese actually in the book, have genetically advanced so much that they're a disease because they've shrunk into the size of particles that get into people's lungs and kill people. So there's also that part of it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it goes like, you think these two things don't go together at all, but then they do.
But then, okay.
Yes. So I would recommend reading Hocus Pocus as well.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
There's quite a few. I like the fact that we're talking more about, I'm talking more about the book than the movie, because there really isn't that much to say about the movie then.
I got nothing else on this movie.
What do I have? Oh, I have written here, this is like a really bad art school film. That's one of my notes.
It's worse than that.
The whole scene in the motel is so bad. What is even really going on?
The sex scene?
Yeah. Because it's after the sex, and then they're watching like the infomercials on TV, and then she gets mad at him or something, and then they start yelling, and then they start making out, and then they start yelling again. Yeah. And then something, I don't know what's going on. Like it just made.
She had a lot of emotions.
I guess. I don't like it. It was just all over the place. And so that's right after that. Oh my God, Owen Wilson, because he was on the infomercial on the TV. It wasn't an infomercial. It was a talk show. Was it a talk show? It was a talk show, and I think the other person on the talk show was the author, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was somebody else. Okay. I think it was somebody talking about Kilgore Trout. Yeah. Coming to the arts festival. Yeah. That's what it was. Okay. Yes. One thing I noticed about the movie as well, I don't know why, but half the movie was literally shot on an angle. Like, they literally tilted the camera on an ankle and filmed it, and it was very annoying to me. I did not notice that. But also I was watching a YouTube version of it that was very poor quality. Maybe they corrected it. Maybe. The guy was like, no, screw this, we're fixing this. Yeah, so if you want to watch it, find it on YouTube. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's stop talking about it, because I really don't have anything else to say, and it's hurting my feelings, and it makes me upset. The whole thing really upset me. I think I watched it. I texted you when I was watching it, but I think I watched it at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. You also said you had to watch it again, and I almost wrote back, no. I didn't. I didn't watch it. Because I was like, I have to watch this again, because I had no idea what was going on, and I was like, okay, maybe you just need to like watch it again to like understand what's happening. And then instead I went out for dinner in the movies,
And then this morning watched Netflix instead and didn't watch it again.
I think that was a good plan.
Great.
I think you did the right thing.
Great.
I really do think you do. But also, if anybody wants to buy my copy for $500 and whatever dollars,
308. No, 306. You gotta be less than that.
No, mine's gonna be higher than that. No, it's gonna.
Okay, put it on eBay. Don't put it on Amazon.
Okay, and starting sell price at like $502. Make this work. Work my while.
Can I get some cutback from this?
I'll give you 10%.
Okay, I'll take it.
So now we're on to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Woo! So one thing that I have realized in a lot of people is that, like, you are not the first person to be like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there's a movie? You were not the only person to do that to me.
I didn't do that.
Didn't you do that to me?
No.
Somebody else?
Somebody else. I've known about this movie since it came out. My sister and I both owned our own VHS copies of it. Unfortunately, they're in storage somewhere, and neither of us have VHS players. Mm-hmm. My mom probably has one. No, I've seen this movie a lot when I was little. I'm sorry.
So let me just put it this way: several people that I know were like, "There's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie." There you go. I corrected it.
I think a lot of people asked me about it too, because I put in the group chat at work. I was like, "Does anybody own this?" And a lot of them were like, "What?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it. I'll find it."
I mean, well, without this movie, there would not have been the TV show.
No.
That is true.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know this exists. They just think it was the TV show.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that something came before the TV show. A lot of people were just like, oh, cool. Wasn't there comic books? Or were the comic books made off the TV show?
Yes, and after the TV show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was, a lot of people, I think, just think the TV show was created and there was nothing happened beforehand. Somebody was just like, oh, this would be a great TV show, and then they made it. No. There's a whole movie from, it says 2001.
No.
Yeah, it says 2001.
1992.
Oh, your DVD was made in 2001 then?
Probably. Or maybe it's like the extras.
Sorry, they're 1992.
Yeah.
I was looking down here.
Yeah. I think it's the extras that were put together or whatever, 2000 and whatever for the DVD.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love this movie so much. Love this movie. It is a great film. There's a lot of great people in it that are famous now. My one that I don't know if you noticed, did you notice Ben Affleck is in it?
Yes, I did. He's a basketball player. He's not in the credits.
Did you just...
Well, he hands off the ball.
Yeah. No, he was he was uncredited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he turned he turns around. I'm like, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I did it too. That was how I reacted to Owen Wilson in the other one as well.
Also, Ben Affleck has 5 exclamation marks in my notes.
Mine has a question mark because I didn't trust myself after watching the other movie.
Yeah, you're just like, am I sure that's who that is?
I don't know. And the vampire basketball player dude was from Dazed and Confused. The one that Ben Affleck hands the...
He was in Dazed and Confused. Oh my god, he is in Dazed and Confused.
Yes, I got one that you didn't know.
Oh, I didn't... Because I was looking at him like he looks familiar, but I was like, oh, I've probably just watched this movie too many times.
Yeah. No, he's Dazed and Confused.
I totally can picture him in Dazed and Confused now. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop hitting your mic.
Yes, I'm sorry. I hit it with my boob this time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. There's so many people in this movie. Like, it's ridiculous. What is surprising, I'm going to bring it down a notch for a second.
Yep.
Is I don't know why I never put this together. But I get to talk about Rutger Hauer again. Because last episode talked about Blade Runner. And he's the bad guy in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Quote unquote bad guy. I mean, it depends. Sorry?
Who is he in this?
He's the evil vampire dude.
Like the evil vampire dude? Or just like the somewhat evil vampire dude that does all the work?
No, that's Paul Reubens.
Yes. Okay.
Pee Wee Herman. Yes. No, he's like the super dude in like the cape that comes after her and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's the one where in my notes it says the kitten.
Yes.
He says he's gonna go have a snack.
I say, oh, a kitten. That's my note.
I had the kitten exclamation mark. Because I was so upset about it.
I was like, no.
It's like, I'm just gonna go have a little snack over here and like picks up the kitten and I'm like, no.
I thought it was both hilarious and very sad at the same time. Hence the, aw, kitten.
Yeah.
That's, and I actually think I audibly said it while I was sitting in my apartment by myself watching the movie.
I mean, I did too, and then I wrote it down on my phone.
I wrote it in my notes. See, we think alike. This is how this works.
All our notes are the same.
But I must admit, like, he plays a good bad guy. He does. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry that he is gone. Because we found out he died last week. Or whatever. Or whatever. That seems really rude.
Or whatever. You don't even have, like, the actual day. It was just, like, you know.
No, because the article on his death came out on the 24th.
Okay.
But in the article, they said he died on the 19th. So it took 5 days for the information to come out. But that could have been, like, a family thing or whatever, not wanting to...
Yeah, but that's not usually how it happens.
I mean...
Like, the world finds out, like, immediately.
But, I mean, he was an old guy who hadn't... Well, no, he'd been doing a lot of voice work on stuff for a while. So maybe he had been...
People didn't really see him.
For a while, yeah. So, and then I saw the article and I was like, oh. And then I realized the 19th was the day we were talking with my last guest about Blade Runner, and he died that day.
Oh.
And then now I get to say, we were sorry to see you go, Rutger Hauer.
Was that before you saw me?
What?
Well, I saw you last weekend, right? And you forgot to... Yeah, so that was the day before.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah. That's all I wanted to say, really.
The whole podcast is done now.
Where do we go from there?
Where do you go from that?
Well, maybe we're lucky he's a vampire and he'll come back from the dead.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want any vampires in my life.
Well, it depends what type of vampire you want. Because there's the sparkly ones, there's the really ugly ones.
There's just, like, no happy vampires. Like, their entire life is like, I gotta kill, I gotta eat.
Well, we have to kill and eat as well. But we find joy in things. Yeah,
but I don't do it. I don't go out and kill the thing. So I just buy it from the store.
So if we had like a vampire grocery store that was just a freezer that had different types of blood.
Are you vegan now?
What?
It sounds like it's becoming a whole thing about being vegan.
It's not becoming. I'm saying a vampire grocery store where they don't go out and kill the people. Somebody kills the people for them, and then they just go shopping at the grocery store for the blood.
It's very vegan-esque.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's how we go to their grocery store because somebody else kills the animals for us. So if a vampire store is going to be somebody goes and kills the animal, but human, for them. It's the same thing.
But that's not being a vegan. It's still blood.
No, not them being vegan. It's the whole, like, we should be vegan because we're paying someone to kill our animals for us.
Oh, that's true. I tell people all the time, I would become vegan if the apocalypse happened. I can't kill animals. I have a hard time handling raw meat, but I still eat it.
I would just eat fish because I can fish.
Yeah, but you gotta do the gutting and the scaling and your fingers get in the viscera.
I'm quite okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be friends in the apocalypse then still.
Oh, because I'm doing all the dirty work. Yeah. You're getting the fish.
But I will create some delicious meals for you.
Can you marinate? Will you make them marinated?
Oh yes, I'll do some foraging for you.
Get some berries.
Get some berries. Get some olives and get some olive oil together and just do a rub down on it and get some salt and it'll be
all right.
Beautiful.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Wait, but how's your running ability?
Oh,
am I gonna lose you to the first pack of zombies?
I will trip you.
I see.
It's just so I can get ahead a little bit. I know you're a fast runner, so I can get ahead a little bit, and then you can catch up. It'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll make it work.
All right, cool.
I'll be standing as they devour you, Tracy, you bitch, and I'll be like, Erika, no, I gotta go.
And you're and now I'm vegan. Till I find another group that catches fish.
Yes. Yeah, I'm selling people out hard. In the apocalypse.
Okay, so I got a couple notes here.
Okay.
Did you notice that their mascot was a pig?
I did.
That was pretty creepy.
Was it?
When the pig came out and started dancing, the pig costume was pretty creepy.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes, I will agree with you on that, yes.
Yeah. Also, in their kitchen, when she's heating something up in the microwave, There's a microwave on top of a microwave.
Why did they have 2 microwaves? What the hell?
Why is there a microwave on a microwave?
That's how you know they're rich people. They had 2 microwaves in the early 90s.
Do they use them at the same time?
This is the real question. Like, was dinner warming up and popcorn at the same time? Was there a baked potato in one?
Was it one of those? There's like a pizza pop in one and a pizza pocket in the other.
Sorry, I made a noise.
You made an excited noise.
Right? That's what I was trying to get out.
That really threw me off.
I really didn't understand it. Like, I don't know if, like, did they think that was, like, a cool thing to put in there or whatever? Like,
so you think somebody did that on purpose? I figured they may just, like, have been filming in someone's kitchen.
Yeah, but why would there have been 2 microwaves in the first place?
Because they were filming in some rich person's kitchen? I don't know.
But you're still not answering the question whether they did it on purpose or whether they thought they were just in a rich person's kitchen. Whoever was putting together the set was like, we gotta have 2 microwaves. Or this rich person was like, we gotta have 2 microwaves. Why?
Okay, so here's what you have to do. You have to find out who the set decorator, is that what their job is?
Yes.
Was for this movie, and then can we tweet them? And ask them about it.
Maybe we can. No, not the TV series. Let's see. Full cast and crew. Set decoration was done by Claire Genora Bowen.
Well, Claire, why was there 2 microwaves, Claire?
This is what I need. This is an important question. It is thoroughly an important question. Does she have Twitter? I don't know. See, set decoration. I don't think they have, like, their Twitter information.
No, but is she doing stuff still?
The last thing she did was 1998 as a set decorator. Production designer. Last thing was 2000. Just One Night. Ooh. And then she was in the art department. Oh, that was even earlier. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so you need to put her name in Google and then write the word Twitter after.
Do I have to?
Or you can just text me it and I'll figure it. I'll tweet her. But if you tweet her from your podcast thing, that's probably better.
Claire Bowen 3 Twitter. No, that's EN. That doesn't seem right. Let me take out her middle name 1 sec. Delete.
There's that one right there.
Is this one? Second one? There's like no information. All right, so we're gonna see what we can find. But Claire Bowen, if you want to tweet me and let us know why there were 2 microwaves, would be awesome. At Oh My Shelf.
Or really awesome. Anybody that was in this movie.
Yes, anybody in the movie would be awesome.
I mean, Buffy uses the microwave, so.
She does, and she gets the popcorn out. Everybody loves some good popcorn. Ooh, she worked with Wesley Snipes Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro on The Fan.
What? The Fan?
It's the one where Wesley Snipes is like a baseball player, I want to say, and De Niro's obsessed with him, and it's weird.
Cool.
Yeah. Information.
Did you also notice that she was cleaning her ears in the change room while Donald Sutherland's character was like talking to her?
I did not.
You did not notice that?
No.
So she was supposed to meet him after school, and instead she went to cheerleader practice.
Yeah.
And then he surprises her in the change room.
What I thought was really funny about that scene is that, like, she was still completely clothed, but she was, like, covering herself behind the door. And I was like...
She was still like, this is a naked place. She's got, like, 3 layers on top and still has pants on.
Yeah.
She literally just walked in to get ready to get changed.
Yeah. And then he threw a knife at her head, so, you know.
Yeah. But before he did that, she was cleaning her ears with a Q-tip while explaining why she didn't meet him. Yeah, the look on your face is how I felt while it was happening.
I kind of wish I didn't know that. No. Because now if I ever watch this movie again, that's all I'm going to see. So thanks for that.
You're welcome. And same to anyone else that watches it. Yep.
Awesome.
She just pulls the Q-tip up and starts going for it.
Oh, did you notice Ricky Lake?
I did not notice Ricky Lake.
You know when they go to the bar after and like they're sitting here and the two guys are sitting there and they're talking about like, what can I get with this change?
Yeah.
A hot dog and like a coffee with nothing in it.
Yeah.
The waitress is Ricky Lake.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Totally noticed that.
Oh. And you say like the two guys behind them like they were not important characters in this movie at all.
They were totally important movies. What, it was Pike and what was David Arquette's name? Character name? Benny. Pike and Benny.
Oh yeah, see that's Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Arquette. It took me a second to realize it was Hilary Swank. For a second I thought it was Jennifer Gardner. You're
killing me. You're killing me. But yes, I get it.
Do you get it?
I do get it.
Yeah, like at first I was just like, oh, is that? And I was like, no, that's not. Who is that? I don't have anything. What else do I have on here? Oh, who's Candy Clark? Because at the end, before the credits even roll, it's like, Candy Clark as Buffy's mom. And I was like, is that...
She's the lady who played her mom.
But is she like important or something? Like, why did she show up before even who played Buffy showed up?
Well, they show... Wait, oh, yeah. Wait.
Like, it's the very first thing that rolls in the credits is Candy Clark as Buffy's mom.
But don't they show, like, people's names in the opening credits?
Yeah, but that's in the opening credits.
No, that's fine. That's allowed.
And then in the ending, like, the end credits, like, when the movie ended...
It's the first thing that comes up, yeah.
Yeah, but why? And then it says cast and shows everybody else.
No idea.
So I was like, is she someone special?
Well, sometimes it has to do with people's, like, contracts and stuff. This is what I've learned recently. That the order of people listed, whether they're in opening, end credits, if they come before certain people and whatever, totally has to do with people's contracts and how bitchy people can be. So maybe she just bitched about it, or maybe she was the only...
She had one line in the entire movie.
She had, like, 3.
Oh, sorry. Did she?
Yeah, and they were all like horrible because there's the part where they're going on like their weekend vacation or whatever.
Yeah, and Buffy's hanging out with the 2 microwaves.
Yeah, and yeah, she has like 3 lines there.
Oh, okay.
And then there's another part where she comes home and they're like, "Buffy, where have you been? Now we're gonna be late for dinner." There's that line as well. And then there's a scene where she was like in the background and like turns around or something. That was it.
And then she got pre-credits.
Yes.
At the end.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got no idea. If anybody wants to tweet us why again, that would be awesome. Sweet.
Oh my god. I love this movie though. I love this Buffy movie.
I have to admit, like, I have not watched it in a little while, for sure. And I just remember it being less disjointed.
Okay.
Like the movie actually makes more sense.
Way more sense than Breakfast of Champions.
It does. I am not saying no, right? But it is a lot choppier than I thought it was before. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. Because I'm sorry. Paul Reubens is that dude and whatever. Amazing.
Oh my god, his death scene.
Like
stands up, he's like, and then he's on the ground still.
Or the line, vampires can do anything you can do, or whatever. And he's like, clap. Thought that was great. Sorry, I really butchered that line. I apologize.
I think he was like, I can do anything you can do, and she said clap.
Yes.
And he can't.
He can't. No. I actually think I wrote down one of his lines. You ruined my jacket. Kill him a lot. I really liked that one. I laughed a little too hard at that. It was so stupid. Like, it was so stupid.
The entire thing was great. He was in charge of the army of vampires.
I know, but it was so dumb.
And it was so good.
And I actually think this was the first movie I ever saw Paul Reubens not as Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, really? I'm pretty sure I've seen something before.
That, like, earlier than this?
Yeah, now I gotta look it up. Okay.
I know I've definitely seen stuff after. That's fine, but...
Well, apparently he was in Batman Returns. That was the same year.
As the Penguin's father, yeah.
Wow, you knew that right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. I already talked about Batman.
Oh, he was in Dustin Checks In.
What the hell is that?
And that was after. That's from 96. Wait, what time? When was Buffy? 92, yeah. It's about this kid that, like, gets this monkey.
It's about this kid that gets this monkey. Gotcha.
Yep, it's great.
Well, yeah, he did quite a bit of stuff before.
He did quite a bit of things, and I'm pretty sure I've seen most of these.
Wait, he was in the Blues Brothers?
Yeah, that I went through it because I skipped over it because I didn't understand who he was in Blues Brothers.
Just as waiter, so it was probably like a walk-on, very small scene. He was in a Cheech and Chong movie as Pee Wee Herman and as a desk clerk. I don't know.
He had 2 roles in that movie. Prey TV. Ooh, I feel like I want to see this movie.
Why? I clicked on it. What is it? A failing television station is brought out by a slick TV evangelist and starts making mountains of money in the guise of religious programming, but which is actually just an excuse to sell merchandise.
Oh, see, my synopsis is, in a last-ditch attempt to save low-wattage Southern California TV station, the management brings in Sluzzy Husker who turns it into K-God, the country's first exclusively religious-themed TV station.
Huh.
Is Louis Arquette?
He's in a movie called Nice Dreams, where his character is Howie Hamburger Dude.
Oh, Louis Arquette was on Waltons. Oh, it is David's dad. Okay, that's what I was checking.
What?
In the movie, not Buffy, the one we were looking at, Louis Arquette is in it. He was on the Waltons for a while. But he's David Arquette's dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just a little 6 degrees of movies.
Isn't that like 1 degree?
It's like 2.
No, well, because I mean, even David Arquette's in that movie, and that's his father. That's 1
David
degree.
Arquette's in
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No. But it's... What is the movie that we were just talking about?
Prey TV?
Prey TV is 1 step to Buffy. Because the dad and then the son. So it's not... Yeah, so it's 1.
That's what I said.
For some reason, I would think it's 2, because it's 2 people. It's 2 people. You're wrong. You're not, but, you know, yeah. I am.
Okay. Also, Thomas Jane's in this movie?
Yeah, okay, I saw that. Who is he in this movie?
So, it took me a while to figure out, but so you know when Pike is leaving town and he's at a mechanic and the mechanic is trying to talk him out of leaving, like, why are you going, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
That's Thomas Jane. He just looks so young.
Oh my god, I have to watch it again.
Yeah, he's so young.
I think I have it for 30 days.
He's almost kind of like unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Because of how young he is and like the weird scruffy face going on or whatever. But yeah, it's the mechanic dude. Because in the credits, the mechanic has a name, but I don't remember them saying the mechanic's name at any point in time. Unless maybe it's like on his like... He's on
his overalls, his coveralls. I only saw it because I went to go double check that I was right about Ben Affleck. Mm-hmm. And then I saw it said Thomas Jane and I was like, what? Huh? Is he a vampire and I can't tell it because he's a vampire? But then why would you... What?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I loved how they were trying to figure out like who to invite to the seniors dance. Mm-hmm. And the girls were like, do we have to invite all the seniors? And Buffy was like, yeah, it's a seniors dance. And then the vampires like immediately come into the gym and she's like, they can't come in here, they weren't invited. And one of the girls was like, they're seniors. Like, Buffy, you screwed yourself from the start on this one.
I do love it. It's so good. I also like the fact that at the dance, it's like the worst music and the worst dancing at the same time. And you're just like, the music's bad. You could at least try to pretend to look good. No?
At the dance part, I liked how his leather jacket made her even better at slaying vampires.
Yeah. Well, because that's how cool kids do it. Also, he had to rip off the bottom part for her to be a better vampire slayer as well.
Yeah, her dress needed to be shorter.
Yes.
And then she needed a leather jacket.
She just kind of looked like Madonna or something. It's all like lace and stuff.
Yeah.
But bad, but good at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. She looks good with her hair up. It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
I hated her boyfriend for immediately ditching her for her friend, and then also hated her friend for going to the dance with her boyfriend. That's
about right. Yeah. No, I get it. It was literally like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like, it was that afternoon.
But, like, they didn't even break up because Buffy didn't know that they were done because Buffy was waiting for the limo.
She left a message
on her
answering machine.
Sorry, she didn't listen to the message. She just got ready for the dance.
And came to the dance because she's like, I'm going with my boyfriend, obviously.
But he didn't show up with the limo. Mm-hmm. And she was like, is he okay? Yeah, he just took someone else. Buffy.
Yeah, because people... Apparently, it's okay to throw dances when people in your city just are going missing randomly and stuff. But, you know, it's fine.
Well, one of the girls, they actually, like, said she had died. So, like, the whole school knew that she died,
Yeah, it was one of their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, with the yellow jacket.
Mm-hmm.
She had the yellow leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And then they still continued with the dance and everything.
Yeah, because they were more upset about the yellow... Because she had borrowed the yellow jacket. Yep. Then she went missing, and they're like, you didn't get your yellow jacket? She's like, I know. And so it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing.
And they're like, Buffy, you didn't get it back from her? No, I didn't know she was gonna die. I was like, hey, I need that jacket before you die, okay?
But I like the fact that the first, 20 minutes of the movie is Clueless. Like, the movie Clueless.
Yeah.
They're going to the mall. They gotta look good. They're complaining about school, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The only difference is that in Clueless, Cher and her friend are...
Dion?
And Dion, they're actually like the smart kids, quote unquote, but they just look cool too.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, they're stupid and they just want to look good.
Because they were like, they were going on the escalator and she was like, I can't believe I got to C in that. He's such a loser for a teacher. And then the other girl's like, I can't believe I copied off of you if you only got a C. I'm like, oh.
And then where were they talking about? Oh, like, why do I even care about El Salvador? Who's going to Spain anyways?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you're killing me.
They're so smart. They're so smart.
Oh, God. I don't know. My question is, how did Donald Sutherland get, dragged into doing this movie? Like, he's like a...
Was he in a lot before this movie?
Donald Sutherland?
I know who Donald Sutherland is, but, that's my only question is, why would he have been in this movie if he had already had a name for himself?
He would have had a name for himself already.
Then why was he in...
since the 70s.
Then why was he in Buffy?
This is the question that I'm asking.
It's a high-spirited romantic comedy. Mm-hmm. Why is Donald Sutherland in it?
So there is a...
His name's not even listed first.
I know. It's Kristy Swanson. They were so trying to make her a thing for a long time and it just didn't work out.
I was going to say, I don't know her from anything, do I?
She was in... The only thing I ever remember her else being in is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and it's 3 seconds.
She's the sister, right?
No.
Oh, I thought she was the sister.
Jennifer Grey is the sister.
I'm sorry. I'm offended, Tracy. I was going to call you Trey Trey, and then I forgot what your fake name was. And I went with Tracy.
Thank you. Yeah, so... she was the girl in the class, where he's taking attendance and he's like, Beuller. The girl puts her hand up and she's like, I heard from this person that blah, blah, blah. That's Kristy Swanson.
So she did not become a thing.
She obviously did not become a thing, no.
Looking at the little insert thingy, mm-hmm. Can we talk about how creepy the scene was where she tied the red bow in her hair and then lay down on the vampire's chest?
Yes.
And wasn't he, stroking her hair or something?
Yes. That scene made me very uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't understand why she's tying a red bow in her hair, but I have a feeling like it was one of those, subconscious things, and it's a gift he left for her.
Yeah.
Or she got it somewhere, tied it in her hair, and then that was the connection, because as soon as she woke up, she was like, what the hell? And then took it out of her head and, stared at it or whatever.
Yeah, because I was wondering if I missed it in the girl that was the vampire slayer before,
mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the movie, if she had, a red bow or something, but I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So then, yeah, she just, ties this in her hair, and I was going to text you, I was like, why would you tie a bow in your hair while you're going to sleep? That doesn't make sense. It's not keeping your hair in a perfect spot or anything. And then she just laid down on him, and I was like, how uncomfortable would it have been to film that scene?
I know, right? And also pretend she's not lying on a person, but just on a pillow.
Yeah.
Because she turns over or something at some point. And...
Well, she lies down. She lies down with her back on him, and then he hands her the teddy bear. And then she turns over so that she's on her side, mm-hmm. on his chest. And I was very uncomfortable. Yeah. So I don't imagine how she felt
while doing it. Yeah. I remember thinking that's a really tiny teddy bear.
Is it?
I thought it was very small. I thought it was small.
Not really. It's like a good size of her arm.
Okay.
Like, how big is your teddy bear?
I don't know. He was like a decent size. He was one of his name is Zeddy, and he was one of those bears that you got at Zeller's back in the day. Oh,
he was the Zeller's bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he came with like the T-shirt that said Zeddy across it, and Zeddy was in his palm and whatever. It's great.
Okay.
Got that thing when I was 8.
Oh, I got a stuffed dog that was like my teddy bear kind of, but it was a dog when I was like 2. His name was Ralphie. Nobody knows where I got that name from.
Just
pulled it out of nowhere.
Did you watch like A Christmas Story?
I was 2.
Ralphie was great.
No, I wouldn't have seen A Christmas Story at 2.
That is true. Did you know anybody named Ralphie?
No.
No family members?
No family members. No kids at daycare. My mom has no idea. My sister's teddy bear's name was Lena. Same thing. No idea.
Maybe it was just a sound you made at some point in time. You're like, I like it.
Mumbling things. And this is now his name. And my mom's like, okay.
Sticking to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Kids come up with weird things. Like, they're just creepy sometimes.
Kids are very creepy.
Yeah. I read a couple of those articles about, like, what's the creepiest thing kids have ever said to you? And, like, you read some of the stuff, like, the parents post. They're like, one night, you know, I was sleeping, and my kid came straight up in my face and was like, oh, that's how you're going to look like when you're dead, and walked away. And they're like, what?
Oh, my God. What?
I would lose it. I'd be like, what is going on?
And be like, and we're finding you a child psychologist tomorrow morning. Yeah. Nope, screw that. We're finding it tonight.
Apparently it's very normal for your kid to say really weird things.
Yeah, because their brains function on a completely different level than an adult's brain does.
Yes.
And, like, their imagination is insane, and it's, like, through the roof. So what they're thinking and what they're imagining and what they're seeing isn't something that we as adults can now comprehend.
And also, they don't have the ability to actually, like,
filter,
outwardly, like, explain what they're experiencing and stuff. So that's why you get kids just seeming like they're rambling when they actually have something very specific to say and they can't say it.
Because they can't say it. They don't have the words or the thoughts to say it properly.
The vocabulary, the understanding.
Yeah.
It's peculiar, I'll tell you. So on that note... also, one thing I wanted to say about, like, I looked at the insert and they showed them in their cheerleader outfits.
Yeah.
And I was like, those are really weird cheerleader outfits. And those skirts are not skirts.
They're shorts. I noticed that when they were like the first scene of them doing it. And I was like, are those shorts? And then that was it. I was done. I didn't want to think about it.
But I didn't understand, like, the full spandex under the shirt and the shorts.
I feel like it was just a way to not focus on that in the movie. Like, don't focus on the cheerleaders because that's not the point of the film.
I think it was the point of the film, though.
The cheerleaders?
Yeah, it's the fact that she was a ditzy cheerleader and now she can kick ass. So be a stupid ditzy cheerleader and then kick ass. What?
I don't know. I figured they were just, like, trying to cover them up more so they weren't so, like, sexualized.
I guess, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
but in their at their practice, they're wearing, like, just sports bras and midriffs are out and little shorts.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's what I wear at the gym.
Yeah, because you're gonna get all sweaty and hot. I don't know why I said it that way.
Why did you say it that way? Now I'm uncomfortable.
You're just like, can I go now?
So I'm just gonna go. That was great, guys. See you later.
Bye.
I don't know why that was their outfits.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's the dogs barking again. Yeah, I think it's that apartment over there. They've got like 3 little Shih Tzus or something. Like, they're just tiny little yappers.
You don't need that many dogs in an apartment.
It's so funny when they're going to take them for a walk and then you just see like this gaggle of them just come out and you're just like,
a gaggle.
I know. I should say, what is it? A pack? It's a pack?
I think it's a pack.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know that a group of owls is a parliament? Word of the day, you're welcome.
I also when I wrote cleaning her ears, I put LOL beside it.
Oh, so it was funny. You're like,
I did document my LOL.
It's very necessary. Also, for some reason, I have training montage, exclamation mark, and lots of awesome spandex and Nike product placement. I don't know why.
Was there a Nike product placement?
Oh yeah, during the montage when she's like kicking and they show the back of her shoes, it says Nike across.
Oh, I missed that. But there was lots of spandex in this movie.
So much spandex.
I mean, she's wearing spandex on the front, and then also an image on the back. Yes. It's a different color spandex.
Mm-hmm. I think in like every other scene, there's some kind of spandex somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was really funny. Also, I said if I was practicing my school gym and some dude just appeared out of nowhere, I would freak out real quick.
Yeah, especially since they like ran into him in the mall and they thought he was creepy, and then he showed up in the gym. I would not have stayed to listen to what he had to say.
Because it's like she turned around, she's like, "Oh, you've scared me," and then they had a conversation. I'd have been like, "What?" and be running and screaming and yelling. Yeah. There's a guy here who's trying to kill me. Blah 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 blah.
Clearly not a student. Clearly not a teacher.
Yeah.
Stranger danger on the school property here, guys.
Seriously, these movies are teaching kids the wrong thing.
Kids are not watching this movie. Kids should be watching this movie. Yeah. But they're not because it's also insanely hard to find.
Really?
You can buy it on Amazon for like $16, but I didn't want to buy it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And it's not on Netflix, and it's not on Prime or Crave. I had to sign up for I saved the email because I have to cancel my subscription. Because I signed up for a 30-day trial.
Yeah.
With Prime Video. I am a Super Channel. Yeah. Thanks for subscribing to Super Channel with Prime Video channels. Your 30-day trial. So now I have to cancel it because it's $9.99 a month, and I don't want it.
Well, you should watch a couple more movies before it gets canceled, though.
Yeah, I just have to put a reminder in my phone somewhere to remind myself that I have to cancel this. If you don't want your membership to extend automatically, oh, good, I can cancel it but still get my rest of my 30 days.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. And I just realized we also haven't talked about the fact that Luke Perry was a damsel in distress in this movie yet.
Yeah, we didn't. I was like thinking about Luke Perry the entire time, but we didn't address any of that at all.
Also, rest in peace.
Didn't he like also try and run away in this movie though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole thing. Like at the beginning of the movie, he was talking to Benny. Remember, they were like drunk on the thing. He's like, "I just got a van. We're gonna fix it up, and then we're gonna get out of this town."
Yeah.
And then Benny got taken by the vampire, and old man saved Luke Perry and didn't even try to help Benny in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And then he tried to leave. That's when he talked to Thomas Jane, and then his car broke down, and then he got attacked, and that's when the guy lost his arm and stuff, and then she saved him and brought him back and whatever. So yeah, he did try to run away. That's all I was getting at.
That's all I have to say in that. He was trying to run away. Yeah, he did.
But yeah, he played he was a good damsel in distress. I liked it.
I liked it very much, but he also was very supportive of Buffy and her new vampire slaying abilities and job. He wasn't like, "Oh, you're weird and that's crazy." Yeah. It was
girls can do this amazing thing. Awesome.
Here, let me help you. I brought you a backpack of spikes.
Yes, he did.
He did.
That is correct.
Yeah. Oh. He brought her all the things that she needed, helped her with her dress, gave her a jacket. He was very supportive and caring.
And when she was like running away to stop the vampire, he wasn't like, "No, a man has to come with you to save you. You can take care of yourself. I'll help the people here."
Yeah. Yeah, you know. He was like, "You go do that.
Yeah, you do what you need to do.
You do it. You're good. You got it. I'm gonna put like some tables up. And help people.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
that's the kind of man more women need in their life. No matter what they're doing.
That's the kind of man I want in my life.
Right? This is called a high-spirited romantic comedy. I wouldn't even call this a romantic comedy.
They fall in love.
They do, but you know.
She finds the man that she needs, not the man that she wants. Stupid basketball player.
I know, right? Ugh, jocks. Also, if you're a sexy basketball player and you don't want to come talk to me, that's fine.
I think I am a jock. So, like, I also attract jocks because I hang out with them on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah, that'll do that. But I think it's proximity. It's a proximity thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really... I played kickball the other day. But
what?
I wouldn't call myself like a jock in any way.
Did you used to play baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in high school, I have trophies. I used to play basketball.
So you were a jock.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Jockette.
I don't know. That makes me feel uncomfortable. That term makes me feel uncomfortable.
Okay, not jockette.
No. I will stick with just jock, even though jock really refers to their crotchular nature. But, yes. I think it's like testosterone.
Then what are we? Athletes? Yes.
We are athletes. Let's put it that way. I like this term much better.
Okay.
Yeah. We are athletic individuals. Yeah. So, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say about these two very strange visits to the 90s? Weirdness?
I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. Also because I ended up seeing the movie I saw Saturday night after watching these two movies. We saw it in 70 millimeter. Yeah. Which I think is like a 90s thing.
Well, it's a pre-digital thing for
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed my whole day of old movies.
Yeah.
Old. What?
I don't know. I have an aversion to movies in the 90s being called old now, but I mean, technically
they are.
Old. I know, it hurts my feelings.
It's 2019. For the longest time, whenever somebody was like, "Oh yeah, 10 years ago," I would still be like, "Yeah, the 90s," and I'm like,
"No,
not the 90s. No. Were not 10 years ago."
I know. There are people on this earth who are voting, are in university and stuff, who have never lived in the 20th century, and it blows my mind. They don't know what dial-up internet is.
So they'd probably come to my apartment and they'd see like the phone jack on the wall and be like, "What is this?"
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my god, dial-up internet.
I mean, there's a chance they might think it's an Ethernet cable connection, but
maybe.
They're like, but the Ethernet jack doesn't fit. What is this?
Oh my god, we used to have to try and download movies off Napster.
Yeah.
And like my sister would pick the phone up to make a call, and
the screaming that would happen. Oh my god.
The screaming match, because I'd have to start it all over, and she'd be like, "Okay, I'm sorry. Like I'll call them." I'm like, "No, it's too late now. It's already stopped."
Mm-hmm. Or like it'd take like an hour to download one song.
Yeah.
Oh my god. My mom would be like, "I have to make a phone call."
Then you just set everything up for when you go to sleep.
Yes.
So that everything downloads while you're sleeping, because no one's going to make a phone call in the middle of the night.
Exactly, yeah. Except my brother used to play like online games and stuff. And so that would slow down whatever downloads I started. So then I'd wake up and still some of the downloads wouldn't be finished. And I'd be like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Oh, I was playing this all night." I'm like, be a thing. You know.
The 90s.
The life we led was difficult.
It was.
It was hard.
Now we carry around computers in our pockets.
Yes.
And we can access all information all the time without bugging somebody.
It's true. Oh, I was reading this. I saw this quote today, and oh my god, where was it? I was probably scrolling through like Facebook or Instagram or something, and it was one of those like, took a screenshot of something somebody else did or whatever. And pretty much what it said was, remember back in the day when we thought there was so many ignorant people because there was no access to information? I guess we were wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, because information is so easily accessible these days.
Yeah.
But I also wonder if that is just a first world / middle class thing to believe, because there are definitely like rural areas and poorer countries and stuff that they don't have internet yet, or they don't have easy access to the internet that's available, or they don't have easy access to like cell phones and all that kind of stuff too. So,
well, even who knows? Even when I was taking the train from Vancouver to Toronto, like there was parts where like our phones didn't work. Mm-hmm. There was parts where there was like in Northern Ontario where it made sense in like BC and Alberta because we were between the mountains, so it made sense that there was no cell service. But in Northern Ontario, there's nothing there to block a cell service from like the towers. There's just no towers. Yep. So there's people, like we went past a couple very small towns, not even towns, like just communities, and there's no cell service on our phone. So what service, like all of their service is landline. So they're probably still on dial-up if they even have access to dial-up.
That's why things like AOL was still a thing, because some people are still stuck using dial-up. Yeah. But the problem is a lot of companies apparently don't want to spend the money on the infrastructure because they don't think the profit will be high enough, even though
you're giving people access to information.
Yeah. Yeah.
To help
and governments
them.
don't want to step in because, again, they don't have enough funding. So it's not enough money to put in the lines themselves.
Yeah, because if we put in a line or a tower, it's not like we're trying to put this Wi-Fi through
all of Toronto,
all of like the subway, right?
Yeah,
but the like Rogers and Bell have to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's if they do it in like Northern Ontario, the government can't afford it because the government of Ontario, Toronto can't even afford to do it here.
Yeah.
So then a large company will have to do it, but they don't have the money for that either.
No, some of those companies have the money for it. Like, they're bitching
they
about,
need
like...
to pay me better.
They need to...
I don't... For the record, I don't work for one of those companies, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. My thing is that their bottom line is to turn a higher profit than the year before.
Yeah.
And no matter how much profit they make, the next year has to be higher. And that's the biggest problem. So if they don't make, even a 10% profit compared to the year before, or if they make like 8% and the year before was a 10% profit, then they're complaining and they're cutting things, they're increasing, what we pay for plans and stuff. Because they're like, oh, we're going broke because our profits are less. I'm like, but you still made $1 billion. I don't think you're going broke.
Did you break even?
Yeah.
Do you really need to be higher than last year, or can this just be a more of a we broke even kind of thing?
No, if we broke even means they're losing money. So that's how they see it. I don't agree with it. That's how they see it.
Yeah.
But whatever. This just got really political and all that stuff at the same time. All of a sudden.
It really did, based off of 2 movies from the 90s.
Yeah.
That have
the 90s.
No politics in them at all.
No. Well, the Breakfast Time should have politics in it, but it doesn't.
Okay, I was going to say it doesn't.
Yeah, no. The movie doesn't. The book does, but in like the best ways possible. You're like, oh, yes. There's a description of Thomas Jefferson in there that is beautiful.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting this book on Tuesday.
Yeah, I suggest.
Okay.
Anyways, well, I guess,
yeah. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
No more comments?
Don't watch Breakfast of Champions. Read the book.
Read the book. I agree. Yes.
Or just watch Buffy twice.
Yes, that's also a very good way to do it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Erika, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we'll have to get you back for hopefully better movies next time.
I'm down for that, but can you let me know while we're having our midnight Chinese food that I'm on it and not like later?
Yes, I will, because I didn't even remember, and I came home and I checked. I'm like, today's my day to send out my emails to people who are going to be on the show.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Erika.
Okay, you have a certain day. Okay. Yes. It wasn't like...
I go through like a thing.
I knew and I forgot to tell her when I saw her kind of thing.
No, I
Okay.
totally forgot.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
I apologize.
Okay, yeah, I'll look at your list thingy.
Yay! All right, well, I guess that's it for this episode of Off My Shelf. I will be taking a little break, returning with new episodes on August 26, 2019, where we will be talking about the butterfly effect and Can't Hardly Wait. Until then, you can still follow along on Twitter and Instagram at ohmyshelf, or you can send emails to ohmyshelf@gmail.com. Hope you'll be here to listen. Do-do-do-do.